the first nerve is the olfactory nerve, that is a nerve of smell. Okay, this is the first cranial nerve and the sensory nerve. So you can see this is the olfactory nerve that is present in the base of the brain. And when I isolate this olfactory nerve, you can see inside the skull, the olfactory nerve comes all the way up to this ethmoid bone, and the small holes that you see is the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone. Okay, so this nerve branches in this place and enters into the nasal cavity here. You can see these are the branches of this olfactory nerve. Okay, so it's a nerve of smell. Whenever you smell, the smell hits this area and you are able to detect a sense of smell because of this nerve. Okay, that is the olfactory nerve. Then the next nerve is this optic nerve. Next nerve is this optic nerve. You have the right optic nerve and the left optic nerve. Both this optic nerve, they enter into this sphenoid bone in the optic canal and comes out to this orbit. Okay, you have the eyeball here. So this optic nerve enters into the eyeball and spreads in the retina. And it spreads in the retina. So when the image falls in the retina, that image goes to this through this optic nerve fiber, and then this nerve joins to form the optic chiasma. This optic chiasma gives the post-ganglionic branch, and you can see this is the lateral geniculate body of the brain stem. So the optic nerve branch, the optic nerve tracts, they travel through this lateral geniculate body, and in the posterior aspect of the brain stem, you see two swelling. We call the superior colliculi and inferior colliculi, and the optic nerve fiber reaches the superior colliculi. From there, it communicates to the occipital lobe. Okay, this is the optic nerve, that is the second cranial nerve. Then the third one is this oculomotor nerve. This is the oculomotor nerve. This nerve, it passes through this supraoptic foramen of the sphenoid bone, and it spreads into branches and supplies this eyeball muscles. Okay, you have lot of eyeball muscles around the eyeball. If you see, these are the extraocular muscles. These are the extraocular muscles. These are the, I'm going to show you that. These are the extraocular muscles around the eyeball. Okay, these muscles move your eyeball to the right side, left side, up and down, and rotation also. Okay, so this oculomotor nerve innervates the superior rectus, medial rectus, and the inferior rectus muscle. And finally, it is also acting as a parasympathetic nerve, which I will discuss later. Okay, this is the oculomotor nerve that is coming to the orbit. Okay, then trochlear nerve, that's the fourth cranial nerve. This is the trochlear nerve. This is the trochlear nerve. This trochlear nerve is innervating this superior oblique muscle of the eyeball. So this is the superior oblique muscle which I am going to show you. This is the superior oblique muscle, and this superior oblique muscle is innervated by this trochlear nerve, that is also exiting the cranium through this supraoptic foramen. Okay, next is the trigeminal nerve, the thickest cranial nerve. It starts in the pons. Okay, and it has this trigeminal ganglion in the, we call this area as a trigeminal cave. Okay, in between this sphenoid bone. So this divides into three branches, that is V1, which is also called as the ophthalmic branch. These trigeminal nerve, it gives a sensory branch, and all the sensory area of this area is by this V1 branch, that is ophthalmic branch. Then the next branch is this V2, that is called as the mandibular branch. gives the sensory nerve fibers to this upper jaw root roots of the teeth. Okay, so this is the, then you have the third branch V3, which is also called as a mandibular branch. It is innervating the lower jaw teeth. Okay, so on the whole, the trigeminal nerve is giving sensory innervations to the complete area of the face, one half of the face. Okay, and you can see these are the branches of this trigeminal nerve. These are the branches of this trigeminal nerve. Okay, then facial nerve, then trochlear nerve, trochlear trigeminal abducens nerve. Okay, so this abducens nerve, this is the abducens nerve that is supplying this lateral rectus muscle. This is the abducens nerve that is supplying the lateral rectus muscle. Okay, so you can see the lateral. Why I am telling this? Because paralysis of this lateral rectus muscle leads to squinting. It leads to squinting. This is the lateral rectus muscle that is innervated by this abducens nerve. Okay, this abducens nerve also exits through this supraoptic foramen in the sphenoid bone. Okay, then next nerve is the facial nerve. It is originating in the cerebropontine angle. Okay, so this is the facial nerve. This facial nerve, it has intracranial part, intratemporal part, and extracranial part. Okay, so this is the intracranial part, this is the intratemporal part, and the remaining branches are the extracranial part. So if you look here, this facial nerve exits out through this stylomastoid foramen, and it divides into multiple 5 different motor branches, and it is going to innervate the motor innervate. It is giving motor innervations to the facial muscles. Okay, these muscles are called as muscles of facial expression. These muscles are called as muscles of facial expression. Okay, so the applied anatomy part, we will speak about that later. Then the next nerve is this vestibulocochlear nerve. The next nerve is the vestibulocochlear nerve. So this vestibulocochlear nerve comes out along with this facial nerve. Okay, and this vestibulocochlear nerve innervates this vestibulocochlear apparatus. Okay, so if you look, this is the vestibulocochlear apparatus. It is present inside the temporal bone, and it is the organ of hearing. It is also a sensory nerve. So that information, sensory hearing information, is going through this vestibulocochlear nerve. Okay, this is the 8th cranial nerve. Okay, then next nerve is the glossopharyngeal nerve that is present in the medulla oblongata. The nucleus is present in the medulla oblongata. This glossopharyngeal nerve innervates the muscles of the pharynx. It innervates the muscles of the pharynx. Then the next nerve is the vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve. This is said to be the longest cranial nerve in the body. So simply to remember, vagus nerve is a parasympathetic nerve that innervates organs of respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, urinary system, and reproductive system. Okay, we will discuss this about that in the parasympathetic divisions. Okay, next you have this accessory nerve. This is the accessory nerve. This is the accessory nerve. This accessory nerve innervates the sternocleidomastoid muscle and the trapezius muscle. So this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is sternocleidomastoid muscle, and it is innervated by this accessory nerve. This is the spinal accessory nerve. Then the trapezius muscle, which is also innervated by this accessory nerve. Okay, this is the accessory nerve innervation of the trapezius muscle. Then the last nerve is this hypoglossal nerve. Last nerve is this This is the hypoglossal nerve, which is innervating the muscles, external muscles of the tongue. Okay, so you have this genioglossus, hyoglossus, styloglossus, and palatoglossus. These muscles are innervated by this 12th cranial nerve, that is the hypoglossal nerve. So these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. These are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves that is present in the right side and left side that we discussed now.